It is the week of October 12th, and welcome back to Mike Ferry TV. Can I tell you something kind of fun? Every one of my competitors now has a program like this available to you. Isn't that interesting? You know, I've always said if you steal one idea, you're a thief. If you steal a lot, you're doing research. I've got some great research specialists out there. You know, this particular program we devised for you guys now, it's been several years, has now had so many viewers that it's hard for us to even believe. So I want to start by saying thank you for viewing. I also want to say thank you to all the great brokers that brought their people to that retreat last week in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood. What a great group. What a great group of brokers. And thank you to all the agents. In July at the Superstar Retreat, we actually set an all-time company record for the number of people that joined our coaching during that retreat. We couldn't break the record, but we certainly tried because the audience in Fort Lauderdale was half the size of that in our program in Las Vegas. But boy, are the agents excited about what we're doing. And I'm excited that you're excited because that keeps me wanting to help and share more with you. So what we're going to look at today is a little bit shorter topic than normal. And that is, what exactly do all the top listing agents do every day? It's an interesting question. What do they do all day? What is the difference between a great listing agent, just a regular listing agent, and then that giant group of agents that kind of pretend like they're working? Well, it always comes back to first things first. All the top listing agents have a defined, definitive, strict schedule that they follow. They all do, okay? And I don't care if I'm talking to an agent in Anchorage, Alaska, or I'm talking to Carla Riccardi up in Milwaukee, or Mike Darda in Cape Coral, or I'm talking to Neil Weichel in Los Angeles. They all have a great schedule they follow. That's a big, well, let's put it this way. If without the schedule, they can't produce the level they produce at. So the question is, what's in the schedule? So I broke down what's in their schedule to 4 or 5 categories that I want you to think about. Well, if you and I can take what somebody else does that's producing at this level, and we can duplicate it with their attitude, we can then duplicate a lot of the results that they get. So understand that the schedule is duplicatable and the activities are duplicatable. That's what makes a great listing agent a great listing agent. So I wrote down 4 or 5 things that they do during the course of the day that you should consider doing yourself. Obviously, number 1, prospecting lead generation. I guess if I use lead generation, you go, hey, that's really great. I can do that. If I say prospecting, oh, I don't want to do that. It's the same thing, okay? It's finding a way to get yourself in front of people to talk about listing and selling real estate. Now, do you honestly believe that a person that's listing 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 homes a month is not in a constant conversation about buying and selling real estate with somebody? That's what they do. They're great prospectors. And I don't care where you go in North America, you meet a great listing agent, you're going to be talking to a great prospector because you got to find a way to get in front of the people all the time. That's why that hoax that we keep hearing, it's okay, you don't have to talk to people. You know, just be on Facebook and just text and tweet and Twitter and blog. You know, it's just total, complete, absolute nonsense. How often do you get listings coming to you on a regular basis without talking to people? It doesn't happen. So prospecting is a big part. How much are you going to prospect? That's up to you. Probably an hour a day, 8 or 10 contacts a day, every day, never miss a day. The second part of their day that is so important is the role play and practice. The role play and practice. You've got to, at some point, accept the fact that professionals practice everything they do. Always have, always will. They're always in a state of saying, how do I improve my performance? Professional singers, actors, dancers, they practice all the time. Professional athletes practice all the time. That's all they do is practice. Well, all we're asking of you is, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, once a day? Got your scripts in your hand, and you're reading them out loud, looking into a mirror with a smile on your face, trying to get yourself excited about what's going to happen when you go out and use these scripts because they work. Practice time. The third thing I wrote down is preparation time. They're going to spend a certain amount of time, 30 minutes, an hour, it's up to you, preparing for all your appointments because there is certain things that you have to do. Now, I have an assistant, Mike. I don't have to do them. Wait a minute. Even if you have an assistant, you have to do them. Why? Because certain things have to be done by you to get to the point that you can go on an effective listing presentation. The fourth thing I wrote down was presentation time. Now think about this. You open up your schedule in the morning and it looks like this, blank, nothing on the schedule. Or you open up your week at a glance schedule and you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from early in the morning to late in the afternoon. And let's say 3 times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 o'clock, you write the word presentation time, words, presentation time. And then you work all week to fill in the names of people to fill those slots. That's what a doctor does. That's what an attorney does. The airline has a schedule. They're trying to fill the seats. Well, you're trying to fill the presentation times. Now, let's be honest. If you really did spend most of your time trying to get one person on a presentation, could you do it? And the answer is yes. Why does it not happen? You're not spending the time trying to get somebody to present. Why? Because you don't have a target each day to aim for. Without a target, what do you hit? Air. What do you hit? The wall. You see, let's go back to what I've said during the retreat tour. If your broker said to you tomorrow, you will take a listing, residential, in the next 3 days, and if you don't, you lose your license for life. And you go to prison for 5 years. Could you get a listing? Of course you could. You would list your own home. You do it every time, just to keep your license out of prison, and it would be overpriced every time. Well, you would have a target. You got to have a target, you got to have a goal, you got to have something in your plan that you're aiming for, because all the top agents always have a target. So I want you to think about this, okay? How much time are you spending doing productive things every day that lead to listings? How much time are you spending targeting appointments which lead to listings? All the great listing agents have a schedule they follow. They have certain parts of the schedule that they're meticulously following, and then they do it every day. Well, for those who were at the retreat last week, thank you for being there. It's always great to have a great group of people I get to work with. I hope you enjoyed it as much as it appeared you did. And more importantly, keep using the ideas that we talked about. In either case, we'll continue making October great next week. Thanks for being with us this week.